Lam Baoyan and Rudy Taslim are a Singaporean couple who have built 500 emergency homes in Ukraine. They mostly focus on war zones and frontlines, helping poor, elderly and disabled. They told BI they have traveled to Ukraine 7 times in the past 2 years. New Outlook to receive insider information on the daily present day of the biggest stories in markets, technology and business. You can give up when you want. The first person to see Lam Baoyan at Bucha could not stop screaming. Lam was offered the chance to see the front lines in Ukraine in May 2022. Said that when she entered the city, an old Ukrainian woman noticed the Eastern Asian features of Lam and began to cry, fearing that was a Russian. An interpreter told Business Insider, "I have nothing left to give you." Lam of Singapore, 39, was amazed. The aid workers managed to calm the old woman down, and the woman finally told Lam how entire family was killed, that her roof could only live in its corners, and that potatoes were left in garden. Weeks have passed since the Russian forces withdrew from Bucha, but the small city is still winged. Lam said, Russians took everything in their homes and burned it. They lived in chicken coops, he said. Lam's first trip to Ukraine eventually led him to build about 500 free emergency houses for war victims in heavily impacted areas of Ukraine, such as Moshchun and Donbass. He and his wife, Rudy Taslim, said they have been to the front lines of Ukraine more than 7 times since the war began, launching and financing aid projects with their own money. The couple, who runs an architecture firm in Singapore, designed and built a series of container houses to accommodate families in need of housing. One of the larger houses that Lam and Taslim deliver is next to a collapsed building in TKTK. They refuse to share how much they spent on aid projects in Ukraine. BI confirmed humanitarian work with the Ukrainian embassy in Singapore and spoke to 3 Ukrainians who worked with the couple on aid projects, creating a local base while most of the global debate over helping Ukraine is centered around guns. Lam and Taslim said their focus is on people who can't escape the war. Lam, who hasn't left, the disabled, the poor and the most excluded people, he said. They're looking for basic things. A sense of stability, food, shelter. Lam said that some of the Ukrainians he met lived in chicken coops or in corners of their houses that were still intact. Lam spent April 2022 helping Ukrainians fleeing Russian occupation in a refugee center in Bad Blankenburg, Germany. At the end of the month, he remembered that he and 7 other volunteers had made a 21-hour trip to Germany, Poland, and then Ukraine. This was his first arrival in the country. When she met a group of Christian priests in Lviv, they asked her if she wanted to see Bucha and other parts of Ukraine fighting. Lam agreed. He and Taslim, both loyal Protestant Christians, would continue to work in